sorry, I'm just like a minute late. It's been one of those days. You could tell like my hair is starting just to come like undone because we've just gotten to that part of the day. That's where we are. So welcome everybody. We are our double feature today. We are talking with Celia from Black Hair Demon. They are going to be vending at Witch City Tarot Gathering at the Witches Market, which is on Saturday, the 23rd, July 23rd. The doors open at 6:30. It is free to the public. So if you're around, I suggest you stop on by. I mean, we're going to have a virtual DJ. How cool is that? Hello. All right, I see Celia there. Just go ahead and hit that little camera button next to the comment bar and request to join, and we'll get you on. Get you on. There you go. All right. Sweet. I feel like I need Jeopardy music as we're waiting here. All right. Yay! How are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me.
No, I'm so glad you came to play with me today. I have been, I see Jessica Lucci on. We had her on the other day. Hey, Jess. We have been just getting everybody on because we want everybody to know everyone's faces. So you guys, all these people can go in the market and be like, oh yeah, there's Celia. Oh yeah, there's Jessica. And we all know, like we all know each other. So we're all friends, right? And it's perfect. I'm here for all of it. All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and what you will be vending for us at the Witches Market and all that good stuff?
Sure. So I'm an illustrator. I work primarily in woodblock printmaking as my medium, and I can tell you a little bit of it, like why am I here at the Tarot Gathering?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Boston, and my mom used to take me to the Tremont Tea Room, if any of you are familiar with that, when I was a kid, for readings. And at the same time, you know, my dad, my brother were always into sports, so I was like, you know, again, from Massachusetts, all about hockey. From my mom, you know, getting a little more of the spiritual aspect, whether it's tarot readings, tea leaf readings. She was from the UK, like going home with her and getting to tour things like Glastonbury, Avebury, Stonehenge, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
All those things were like, you know, with me growing up. And I don't know where I got the idea to like cross the streams, so to speak. But a couple of years ago, like, I love hockey, love sports, love art, like love tarot. How do I put them together? So that's what I'm working on now, and that's what you're going to see at the end of July at the Tarot Gathering, is this project I've been working on for a couple of years around tarot and hockey and how we bring them together. And I know, why would those two things go great together? Like, it's not really chocolate and peanut butter. But I have to tell you, like, I've been going to a bunch of events and I've been talking to a lot of people, and people are either like, that's weird, good luck, or they're like, oh,
yeah.
You know, like there's no in between.
There's no happy in between, right? I think it's awesome. I love when people take tarot and just like mix it with another medium that they love, you know, because tarot is just so flexible like that. Like we can definitely do that. And like you said, like some people are all about it. Some people are like, but sometimes there are those people that are like, you know what? I didn't know I liked this, but here it is, and I'm all for it. And those are the best ones to find.
Yeah, and that's what I hope to do with this deck, and the book that goes with it is both, you know, all tarot decks illustrate ideas and concepts, right? Like art is intrinsic to what tarot is. There's no tarot, I mean, there's tarot of every kind. There's blank tarot decks, right?
Yeah.
But starting with Rider-Waite-Smith, you see a picture and it helps you understand, like go into that picture. What are the ideas you're trying to get into? And for me, like this hockey deck is another way to illustrate tarot. I'm trying to be really inclusive as well, that it's not just like the white cis, you know, Canadian guys.
Right.
It's lots of people have played hockey and been part of this history and contributed to it. And like bringing that forward is part of it. So the reaction I've been getting is people who love sports or hockey or into it, they're like, oh, and then they're like, oh, once they realize that there's a lot of relatability. So I'm hoping this deck helps people connect, whether you're into sports, hockey, wherever you are, like to understand tarot as this tool for, self-examination, for reflection, that it doesn't have to be, it can be, but it doesn't have to be like an occult, spooky thing
Right.
that people feel disconnected from. Like, it should be accessible to everyone, and this is another way to make it accessible. So whether it's going to the hockey audience to be like, oh, tarot's actually this kind of interesting, this cool, I get it, I can draw cards for reflection and meditation and to
Mm-hmm.
think about, right? I don't need an intermediary, I can do it myself. Or for people who are into tarot, oh, this is a way to learn about the game or learn a history or get access to people I didn't know about who have been, making a difference in the space they're in.
Right, right. And I even love that, I love ideas of decks that aren't mainstream. I'm actually creating 2 decks myself, so I understand.
Cool.
I understand the process. And it does take, for anybody that doesn't know, it does take a couple years. That's putting it lightly, to create a deck. This isn't something like a book you can put out in 10 months. A tarot
No.
deck, it takes 3 years minimum. I mean, unless you are like Speedy Gonzalez or something. And I'm not an artist, so I have an artist that is creating both of the decks, 2 different artists. So, I mean, if you're also doing the art and the book too, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I love, though, even, picking up like a hockey deck, you can also pick up like a different intuitive hit with that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
love that idea of it. So I think that's really cool. So you had mentioned they're wooden. So are they made out of wood, or like how does that work? Do you
So I
have
carved birch.
samples?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
carved birch wood blocks. Like, here's
Okay.
one card. I'll show you a couple.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me find the magician, actually. So I carved like a piece of birch plywood and then carved the colors to go with it and print them together.
Oh,
So they're all limited edition originals. Um, and there's like definitely a process to that. Like, the wood is a natural substance, and
mhm.
like getting the image into it, and then the surprise of what comes out, right? Like, you can't completely control it. The wood grain comes out a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the chariot, so you can see that.
Ooh,
Like
I
the
love that. Look at those colors. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
pretty.
and that's a
I
Zamboni,
was gonna say
obviously,
that's
nothing else.
Zamboni. There you go. See, I'm
What
upstate
else
New
could be the
York. Yeah,
chariot?
I'm upstate
Yeah.
New York, so I get the hockey. Like, we're big hockey, people around here. And which I have to mention, my son just had his sports award thing, and he doesn't play hockey, but one of the girls, she got she broke all these records. She plays on the guys' team, and she broke, like, this girl is so badass. Like, I just want to shake her hand. And it was like so awesome to see her like on the school team. She just broke all the records. Like, it's amazing what she did, and playing against all these guys. And I loved every minute of it. I have to say, I had
Yeah.
to share that because because that just happened a couple days ago, and it was still fresh in my head, but it was pretty awesome, I have to say.
Yeah, and it's getting better. It's coming together. You're seeing women like taking more of a leading role. You're seeing teams start to come together. We
Yeah.
had, a female goalie for the first time drafted into the QMJHL, like playing games in like one of the minor leagues. It feeds the major leagues. We
Mm-hmm.
have women who are starting to go into player development. Like, I could go off. I have passion on
Yeah.
all the topics we're talking about today. So I don't know, we only have 15 minutes, so I won't.
Yes.
But if you come see me at the table at the
Yes.
vendor mart and you want to hear more,
I
like,
will.
I can
Yeah,
go on.
definitely. Like, everybody, if you are all about it. And I love, so how long does it take you to create one card? About.
So, that's such a hard question to answer. And someone
Yeah.
asked me, I was at, a con this weekend, right? There's getting the idea. So I know I want to make a hockey tarot deck. Okay,
Right.
okay. So keep studying the tarot. Think about like the list of cards I need to make. Think about the meanings of those cards. Who fits that? Whose story like illustrates it? Whether it's, who fits the story, who illustrates it, who's the best one. Am I making sure to be inclusive and representative and not just focusing on like NHL stars,
Yes.
right? As
That's
I tell
hard
these
to
stories.
do too. Like, even with me, because I'm trying to do that with, well, one of my decks is a cat deck, so it's just all different kinds of cats. But my other deck is like kind of like a space pirate type gods and goddesses, and trying to like remember, like, I'm like having nightmares that I'm forgetting someone, and you're trying to like make sure everybody's included. So that alone is like its own entity for sure, because you want to include everybody.
I want to at least be representative and help people understand this is not like a game for one type of person. And if you
Right.
think about like this is the sun. So you see the sunflowers, right?
Yeah.
The sun. It's Harrison Brown, who's the first pro trans hockey player, right?
Oh,
And
okay,
this card, if
cool.
you think about it, is about who we really are to some extent. So it's
Yep.
like making those connections with the players and the concepts. So putting the list out, spending time studying tarot, daily card draws, what are the meanings, and then like who do I think of, who makes sense, or what event in history, and then starting to sketch, right? That's one step of it, like figuring it out first. Who should it be? Like Robin Leonard for the Hanged Man. Okay, starting to draw what's the most representative image. And also, I'm always looking back at the, Coleman Smith deck, like for the
Mhm.
images, like can we relate it so people can recognize it quickly?
Yeah.
All my cards don't do that, but like always going back to that as kind of the base and
Right.
looking at other people's decks is inspiration always. Okay, let me start drawing, let me start sketching. Once I have a composition I'm happy with, putting it on the birch wood block, drawing it, like the final drawing is on the wood block, it's not my sketchbook, carving it,
Mm-hmm.
printing it, and then like going through the iterations of the printing. And that's so that is not an answer to your question, how long does it take? A
Right.
while, and it's a
Yeah.
bunch of steps, and I work on several things at once.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't know
Fair
how
enough.
long
Fair
each one
enough.
takes.
Now, do any of the players in the deck know that they're in the deck?
Not yet.
No.
No, no.
Do you think you're going to contact them or like send them a card or anything? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm almost done. I'm so close to being
Oh,
done with the major arcana. And I'm going to produce that as like a mini deck and a
oh, okay.
preview, which I will have for the Tarot Gathering. And once I have that, I will distribute it and start to like send it to people and attract
Mhm.
more attention and like get the whole package. Because I think individually people were like, oh, it's fan art. Why are you sending me? Like, but if you
Right.
get the package, it's about history, it's about the background, it's about that relatability, it's about that reflection, all of that. So once I have that little mini package of the major arcana, yeah, then I am going to start sharing it
Oh, that's
from
awesome.
that
Yeah,
perspective.
I would love to know like what they say. That's really neat. I love that. So, could you tell everybody where they can find you online if they want to follow you?
Absolutely. And please do. And hopefully like you'll find it useful and interesting because I do talk a lot about my process as well and love to interact and get questions. So I'm Black Haired Demon on Instagram and on Facebook. And my website is blackhaireddemon.com. I'm a little less black haired than I used to be. So
We
I'm
know
BH
that
Demon.
happens.
I'm BH Demon on Twitter because of the character limit, but it turned out that maybe that's also okay, like from a branding perspective. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's where I am. And I love to hear from people. I love to chat and interact and answer questions, whether you're interested in the printmaking aspect, the tarot aspect, the hockey aspect. Like, I love to have those conversations.
Oh, that's awesome. I look forward to meeting you and checking it all out. That's so exciting. And like I said, I so understand the process. So it just gives me such an appreciation for any deck creator out there because it's shit's hard work. It's a lot. We love it, but it is a lot. That's
It
what
is.
we
When I
do.
started, I don't think I really understood. I was like, oh, you're
Yes.
still going to be doing this like
Like, yeah, this will
3 years
be
later.
great. You know, I'm like 3 years down the line. Okay, let's just keep going. We can do this.
Yeah, we're committed now.
Yeah, no, we're in it. We are in it. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments. But also, when you
Please.
are at the Witches Market, I said when and not if, make sure that you go and visit Black Haired Demon and see what her deck's all about. All right. Well, you have a great night, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.